Today we're going to be looking at a really fun deck, and it's a deck that I've been kind of looking into for a while, and that's Gouging Fire EX. This card has been kind of under the radar. Like, it's been good but not great for a little while now, and it's been popping up in some tournaments, but now with the new set, Surging Sparks, it got a single card, literally just one card, that completely transformed this deck and made it incredibly good. And that single card is going to be Latias EX. Because it has the ability Skyliner, where your basic Pokemon in play have no retreat cost, it actually benefited Gouging Fire a ton, because one of Gouging Fire's biggest weaknesses is the fact that its Blaze Blitz attack, which is very powerful at 260 damage, is really restricted because this Pokemon can't use the Blaze Blitz attack until it leaves the active spot. So one of the problems is that this deck used to have to run a ton of switch cards and switch carts and all this kind of stuff in order to repeatedly switch Gouging Fire out and make it useful. Now what we get to do is ignore the retreat cost of not only Gouging Fire but also Entei, so we can use the fleet-footed ability to draw ourselves more cards. We can take advantage of the Burning Rondo attack for 20 damage and then 20 damage for each benched Pokemon. So against matchups where people are using things like Area 0 Underdepth, the Burning Rondo attack can do a ton of damage very, very quickly because it only requires 2 energy to use, as well as it gives us an option as a Sealstone user. One of the other things too that this deck did get as well is the new basic Gouging Fire, or like non-EX Gouging Fire. Because it has the Blazing Charge attack for 3 energy, it does 100 damage, and then if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards remaining, this attack does 70 more damage. So you can use it to boss up and knock out Squawkabillies to take like supporters down and things like that. But also, it's a really strong revenge killer for matchups, especially as a single prizer. It's really nice to kind of throw in the active, get a little bit of damage down, and then be able to pivot into one of your other options. One of the other things too with this deck is now that you're not running switch carts and all that kind of stuff, I do keep one copy just in case, but you could cut it if you want to. But because you don't have to run so many anymore, you can actually utilize Trekking Shoe even more by just helping you thin your deck out and kind of surge through your deck much faster, as well as having Pokemon Catchers in the deck much more readily available, because you don't have to run those other cards. Some of the other things that we do play as well is we have one copy of the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. This is to kind of boost up our Gouging Fire, make it a little bit stronger. We have Bravery Charm if we want to use that on Entei or another target to protect them or make our Gouging Fire a little bit stronger. Defiance Band is nice if we fall behind. It just, again, makes Gouging Fire a little bit stronger. It allows us to take that 280 mark much easier and not need Munkidori in order to do that. So that's always nice. And Sealstone, because we run the Entei V, and Sealstone's just kind of a broken card. Outside of that, obviously we run some Dark Energy and things like that just to make sure our Munkidori is available. The way that we're gonna utilize Munkidori is by using Magma Basin to power up our Gouging Fire and Entei, and then we can move the damage off of those onto other targets to kind of shore up some damage numbers and things like that. But yeah, that's going to be the list. Be sure to let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. Be sure to let me know any changes that you would make to it. As well, if you want to try it out for yourself, in the description is the deck list that I'm using. So if you want to try it out for yourself, test it out, make changes, definitely go for it. I want to give a special shout out to the channel members as well. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It really does mean a lot, and I really appreciate it, and I don't want that to kind of, not be said. But yeah, outside of that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you like the videos, and if you're interested in more Surging Sparks content, it'll definitely be on the way here in just a little bit. We do a video on this channel for the Pokemon TCG just about every other day, so if this is the first time seeing the channel, welcome, thanks for watching. If you've seen this stuff before and you're frequenting my channel, I appreciate that too. Check to see if you're subbed. Alright, cool. And I will see you guys in game number 1 in a second. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 1, and our opponent won the coin flip. They're opting to go first. This is something that is honestly fine with us. We do open Squawkabilly, so we'd like a better hand for this than we have. But, oh. Alright, cool. We're up against Duraludon. That's exciting. We'll be able to take advantage of the Pokestop as well before we play our Magma Basin down. If we get lucky, we top deck like Entei and we go Sealstone. That would be pretty cool. The main thing is that our hand's like pretty bad right now. Obviously, we'll see what happens after we fix it with Squawkabilly. Archaludon is a really interesting card. So I'm curious to see like how their deck plays. It looks like they're going for like the Starmie engine. We do see Iono, not really all that exciting. I'm going to go ahead and Squawk just to see what we can get discarded. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we can go Entei here. Go ahead and play the Magma Basin down. Then we'll play the Sealstone down onto this. Go ahead and... we'll hold off on going Star Alchemy. We'll wait for now. What we can do is go Magma Basin. Put a little bit of damage down. We'll throw the fire energy... actually, we'll throw the dark energy on. That way we have a fire energy still in the discard pile. We'll go Squawk. So we'll go Nest Ball here. Grab ourselves the Latias. Go Munkidori. Radiant. Go ahead and concealed cards. Getting a lot more energy than I'd really want in hand, but that's okay. We can retreat. Bring this in. Go fleet-footed. That works out really well. We can hold the Star Alchemy for right now. We'll take a single prize. On the next turn, we'll probably go Secret Box. I think it's going to be the play. But especially because we hit for weakness, we're just going to kind of dumpster Archaludon. There's the research. But also, this is one of the benefits of this deck, is like you have so many options and so many outs and so many different like attackers, in the sense of like Entei works super well with pretty much very little resources, and Gouging Fire is just so strong that a lot of decks, like, they want to go first, and that's totally fine with us because we're able to go second and do a ton of damage early, apply a lot of early pressure. Again, we're an all basic deck, and so we don't have to take the time to evolve. We don't have to like move pieces around and things like that. We're able to just kind of immediately get off to starting to do damage. We will see Archaludon here kind of be an issue because it is going to be able to knock us out, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. We'll go Squawkabilly. We have the energy that we need in order to get into our Gouging Fire. There's an argument that I should have Seal Stoned for the Secret Box sooner. I did not think that they were going to be able to knock me out this turn. I kind of forgot about Archaludon's ability. Oh, cool. Alright, so there's our Gouging Fire. So we can throw one energy onto this. Throw that down. Go ahead and concealed cards. There's our Vitality. We'll place this down for now. We'll go Vitality as well. that, throw that. We get a secret box for next turn. We'll go Magma Basin. Throw that on. Retreat this out. And then from here, we'll do the 260. Actually, I think this is going to be the play. We're going to remove the Relicanth. From play. We'll let them get the damage off here. There's an Entei. Because we have to remove the Relicanth, because underneath this is the Raging Hammer, where it's going to do 10 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And so it's just going to, like, one-shot us back. We are able to live the Metal Defender attack. So then what the goal is going to be is we can pivot into our Gouging Fire. We have Magma Basin again, so that's fine. Actually, this makes this a lot easier. If they go for the Iron Bundle. Because then we can give up our... Yeah, we'll probably just give up Greninja. Okay, that's even better. Because now we have a two-prizer. The whole thing is that the ability that has no weakness off the Metal Defender is, like, kind of hurting us right now. But the fact that there's another one on the bench makes it a lot easier, because now we can ignore that and just go, like, we can just boss this up. So especially if they go, like, Iron Bundle here. That's, like, totally fine with us. And we have Magma Basin with Earthen Vessel, so even if they attack into us, what we'll do is we'll go Secret Box. Yeah, so they go Metal Defender. What we'll do is we'll go Secret Box, grab ourselves a Boss's Orders. Okay, that works too. We'll go Earthen Vessel. Get rid of the Ultra Ball. Grab ourselves 2 energy. Attach 1 from hand. Go Magma Basin. Then what we're able to do is go Boss's Orders. Grab this. Retreat out. Bring in our Gouging Fire. We're able to hit for weakness. What I actually want to do, though... We're going to go Concealed cards because I don't need this energy anymore in hand. I want to prep for next turn. Perfect. So now what we can do is go Blazing Charge. Knock out the Archetype. Grab 2 more prizes. So the main thing that we need to be able to do here is A, try to get a Dark Energy in hand. But what we really need to be able to do is get ourselves either a second Pokemon Catcher and hit both, or hit this Pokemon Catcher and, use another boss's orders, which we should have in deck. And that's how we're going to get around the weakness. We're just going to throw this onto the bench and then pull it back up. And that'll reset its Metal Defender. Or if they make the same mistake of making a new Archaludon, we just boss that up just straight up. If they go Iron Bundle here, we just go for the Radiant Greninja. Even if they go, like, for the Pokemon Catcher and they pull up the Gouging Fire, that's still fine with us. It doesn't really matter. The outcome will be all the same, because we still have the regular Gouging Fire, like, ready to go. They miss anyway. Archaludon is a really strong deck, though. It's actually funny that the turning off weakness, like, does not matter. It just comes up in this matchup specifically. So they go boss's orders. I can't think of what they'd want to pull up. And that's fine, because it doesn't really get them anywhere. Because I don't need to retreat that out anyway. Make the mistake of making another Archaludon. Okay, they didn't. We'll bring this in for now, just so that way we do have a one prizer in the active in case this turn doesn't go the way we want it. I'm going to go Heavy Ball here, just to see. Okay, so the boss is not in our prizes, so we should be able to go forward with this play. We'll add the Pokégear to hand. We'll take the Iono for now, but we just go Secret Box here, this, that. There's our boss's orders. There's a second Pokemon Catcher that we want, and the Magma Basin. So we have two 50-50 shots. We do hit it, which means the game is over, because we pull up the Duraludon, then we boss his orders, pull back the Archaludon, go ahead and Blazing Charge. And the reason why we took the Iono there is in the random case that we somehow didn't have another, like, we just couldn't get into our boss's orders somehow. Let's imagine for the fact that we didn't have Secret Box in hand or something. The main thing is that what we want to do is prep a backup plan. So our backup plan in that case would be to attack with a single prizer, drop enough damage that we can revenge kill it with the Gouging Fire by dropping the Iono, putting them down to like 2 cards in hand, where as long as they don't get themselves into a boss's orders, we win the game anyway. And that would really be what our kind of backup plan there was. So it would have taken things a little bit out of our hands, but made it a little bit easier. But obviously we were just waiting, because also we had to have a backup plan, because yes, we could Secret Box for the boss's orders, but there's a world where we don't get the coin flips we were looking for, in the sense of we weren't able to hit either of the Pokemon Catchers. Like, that's absolutely possible. And in that case, then going boss's orders is worthless. because we don't get what we were like actually hoping for. So we had to hold on to the Iono just as a backup plan in the event that our boss strategy didn't work. But yeah, that's game number 1, and we'll jump into game number 2 in just a second. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and we're going to be going first. Most of the time, though we saw in game number 1, where going second is like really strong for this deck, a lot of the times I'll end up going first because you cause more disruption to your opponent going first than going second, because of the fact that, yes, I can get early damage off in the sense of I can get like early attacks off with the... We'll go Squawkabilly here just as like a backup thing, and we'll throw an energy down onto the Entei, but I'm really not happy seeing all like this hand. Go fleet-footed real quick. Do Secret Ninja. It's not bad. We'll take that. We can go ahead and use Greninja. Go concealed cards. We do see Magma Basin. That's nice, as well as a Bravery Charm. I'll leave the Bravery Charm off just in the event that I want to Seal Stone to something later. We'll go Trekking Shoes. We do see an Ultra Ball. I don't care that much about that right now. Not really hitting anything I really want, unfortunately. So we will end our turn. They cleared the Magma Basin already. That's unfortunate. But, what are we up against? Could be Miraidon. Oh, it's Raging Bolt. Okay. I mean, that's fine with us. Especially, too, because I'll be able to use, like, Entei and stuff like that to just hit for weakness on the Ogre Pawns. There's Squawkabilly from our opponent. Pokémon Catcher does succeed. They go Squawkabilly for an easier knockout. Interesting choice. Can't say I fully agree with that. Okay, so we'll probably just spin the Pokestop to see if we're able to hit like a Nest Ball or anything like that. I think the main goal going forward in this is just going to be to get a knockout on Ogerpon on our upcoming turn, and then just look to boss up a second Ogerpon later on. Did they use a Switch Cart, or did they manually retreat earlier? No, they use a Switch Cart, so they can manually retreat and go Raging Bolt. Will cost them all the energy they have, though. So there's the 210. It was a good move to pull up the Squawkabilly earlier. Alright, so we'll go ahead and spin first. This could be a mistake, but alright, cool. Ended up working out. We'll go stop here. Get rid of this, and this for now. Because we can grab ourselves a new Vitality for later. I want the Nest Ball. This. Because for right now, I want to take Nest Ball, grab myself Gouging Fire. We'll play down the Magma Basin. We'll go Vitality for 1 and 1. Use the Heavy Ball, grab ourselves another Gouging. One boss is prize, so we have to be aware of that. Place the energy down. We'll go Magma Basin on this turn in order to go onto the regular Gouging Fire. Get ourselves Munkidori. Alright, and then what I'll do from here is I'll get rid of the Seal Stone and one more Munkidori in order to grab myself. I'm going to go Fezandipiti, actually. The main reason for this is that my Entei's about to get knocked out anyway, and so after that, I'll be able to go for the Latias. So I already have one in hand. We're a little bit short, but I can use the Defiance Band to shore up that damage. So I'll be able to knock out the Raging Bolt. And then from here, the main thing that I want to be able to do is on the next turn, I'll pretty much be guaranteed to power up my Gouging Fire to knock out whatever the next thing that comes in is. And I'll actually be able to Iono after. I won't even need. Okay, so there's a boss's orders, which does make my next line of play a little bit easier. So there's another Raging Bolt. I actually won't even need Vitality on the upcoming turn. As long as I can get an energy in hand. Because then I can just go Iono. Put them down to 2 cards after. Bring in the Gouging Fire. Okay, so I won't be able to... Yeah, I won't be able to knock this out with Gouging Fire, unfortunately. Which means I will have to boss around it, but that's fine. Or go like Pokemon Catcher to go around it. That's still fine. Get 280. We'll bring in the 1 prize Gouging Fire. We'll play the Latias down. From here, we'll use the Heavy Ball. We'll go Concealed cards, because we need to get into a Catcher while using our Iono. So I think we go Iono here, because we have to put them down to 2, go Catcher. Let's see. Flip the script. Alright, so we do have 1 Catcher, which is nice. Let's see, we need to get heads here. We do, which is pretty big, because that means we can take out an Ogerpon here. We no longer care about getting an Iono. We really just need to find a boss's orders. We can hold on to this because that's pretty much the same thing as of right now. Grab this. Go Magma Basin. We get to go Blazing Charge. Knock this out, take 2 prizes. We know that one of these is boss's orders. Or wait, I think we got our boss from our prizes earlier. So it's somewhere in our deck. We have to hope they miss this. Okay, huge, huge, huge. Okay, so no boss. We just have to avoid any other potential Pokemon catchers. It's concealed. You can only draw, like, 1 more card. Energy Retrieval. We have to avoid, like, any Pokemon catchers. So they need to draw into 1 more. They've used 2, so there should be 2 more in deck, potentially. So they'd have to find that and get heads. We're in a similar boat, though. Because we don't have much to actually, like, draw with. We, like, need them to knock out our regular Gouging Fire to be able to utilize Fezandipiti. Okay, awesome. That's another reason why the regular Gouging Fire works so well. Because it just functions as like a extra 1 prizer. We get a second Pokemon catcher, so what we're going to do here is we're going to thin our deck out as much as we possibly can. Alright, so there's 2 boss in deck. Out of 10 cards. Then what we can do is Nest Ball. Pull another card out. We actually have Switch Cart as well, so what we can do is go Switch Cart. Bring the Entei in. Go Fleet-Footed. Magma Basin to this. And then from here, we'll go flip the script. Perfect. We drop the boss's orders. Pull up that. Then we just retreat. And we go back into Gouging Fire. And so this is why running the running all the Pokemon catchers and the boss's orders is so important. Because there are matchups and there are situations where even though Gouging Fire hits really hard, it's not able to clear these really high HP totals like the 290 of a Raging Bolt with the Bravery Charm, or like a Charizard or something like that at 330. It's just not able to hit those numbers. Even going back to game 1 with the Archaludon, where we're not able to hit for weakness, so the 300 is kind of a hard target to hit. It's fine because we're able to manipulate the bench so much that if there is something we can knock out, we can just pivot to that. We have the regular Gouging Fire, where even if it's not hitting for weakness, it's hitting for 170, which does knock out things like Squawkabilly. So if your opponent has any form of liabilities on the bench, you're able to kind of bypass them pretty well, especially too because how much Ogerpon is in the game. So we saw it here with Raging Bolt. We see it with Dracopult as well, or not Dracopult, sorry, with Regidrago. V-Star as well, like it's used as an engine in so many decks, and so Gouging Fire regular is able to take a huge advantage of that, as well as the Gouging Fire EX to just kind of pivot around these things, hit them for weakness. So it's really, really powerful. But yeah, that's game number 2, and we'll jump into game number 3 in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3, and we're going to be going first. We open Squawk and Gouging Fire. Also, for the reference, too, I guess I should have said this, but I guess this is your reward for making it to game 3. If you have Gouging Fire, you want it on the bench, so that way you're able to power it up easier with, do I want this? We're up against Wo-Chien. I don't think it matters. Oh, I really don't want to have to discard both of my boss's orders. That's so tragic. Oh, that's annoying. Whatever. It is what it is. Wow, this is not a good hand at all. That's annoying. I mean, it's fine. We can go Gouging Fire on our next turn and get the knockout against whatever's in the active. It's not like our opponent can do that much to us. This is another deck that we're hitting for weakness, which is kind of crazy. It's weird that you don't realize like how many things fire hits for weakness until like you actually have to deal with it. Pretty weak start from our opponent as well, which obviously benefits us. We can go Vitality here. That does get us a couple cards. We'll go Trekking Shoe. I'll add the Magma Basin to hand, but I'm going to be honest, it doesn't matter all that much. We'll go Nest Ball. This will grab us our Latias EX. We'll throw the Pokemon Catcher down, see if we hit. We do. Actually, that's pretty cool, because then we're able to just boss up this Ogre Pond, shut off the draw engine, deal with things that way. Then what we'll do from here is we'll go this and the Night Stretcher. Grab ourselves an Entei V. Entei V, Seal Stone. Throw an energy onto the Gouging Fire. Treat this out. Bring this in. There's not a reason to go for the Seal Stone just yet. I'd rather like be able to hold on to that for a turn and see like what I'm able to find. Okay, cool. They also... Alright, well, that's game. Because what I can do... I was just going to Seal Stone for the Switch Cart. Switch and then bring that back in. Alright, that's a pretty underwhelming game number 3, but it is what it is. That's going to be game number 3. Weird Wo-Chien deck for my opponent, but... I would love to do a game number 4, but I actually have to go to work, so I don't get to do 5 games like I did in the High Dragon video the other day. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. One of the tips, I don't even remember if I actually got to it when talking about this game because it was so weird, but if you have the opportunity to, you want to make sure that you're not leading with your Gouging Fire in the active, because you want to make sure that it's on the bench so that way your Magma Basin and stuff like that can actually target it. I know it's a simple thing, but it's a mistake I see a lot of people make with decks like this, where you want to have Gouging Fire, like, instinctively you're like, oh, I'll have Gouging Fire in the active, so that way, like, you know, I can get attacks off. but it's more beneficial to leave it on the bench, especially with Latias giving you the free retreat. So you just want to make sure that you always have access to it, and only bring it into the active when you actually have to. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It really helps out the channel, and, you know, all the YouTube stuff. Like I said, if you want to try the deck out for yourself, it's down in the description, as well as a link to the community Discord. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.